Hey guys, Chelsea the Reading Outlaw here to do a really quick update what I'm reading Wednesday. At the moment, I am reading two physical books, one physical slash ebook and one just ebook. At the moment, I am still reading Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clark. You guys should probably just expect to see this for the rest of July and possibly into August because it's huge. I'm enjoying it. Again, it's one of those books that when I'm reading it, I'm really enjoying it, but it's kind of hard to pick up when I'm not in it. I think it's that kind of Dickensian, Edwardian style that is interesting and great and works really well for the content and the fantasy of manners, but is not always the most riveting or engaging. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm also really enjoying the buddy read group that's reading along with it. I'm just taking it slowly and kind of putting it somewhat on the back burner for some of the other things I'm reading. One of which is another absolutely huge book. I went ahead and took the dust jacket off because it was bothering me. This is The Way of Kings, the first in the Stormlight Archive series by Brandon Sanderson. It is absolutely ginormous. It's got absolutely gorgeous inside flap art, but it is the story so far of what I can tell is a war to avenge a king. There are these things called stormlights and like you can take the power of lightning and hold it in certain gemstones, and it's a land where like there are lots of high storms, and to be honest, I don't really know what's happening. There's a slave called, I believe it's Khaled, Kaladin. Kaladin, who is a slave and a former warrior. There is also a girl named Shallan. I believe that's what it is. Because there's Shallan, and then there's Jasna or whatever. Yeah, Shallan. And Shallan wants to be kind of apprenticed to one of these royalty figures to learn from her, but to also steal one of her magic like tools and power wielding tool things. Like I said, this book is so long. I don't really entirely know all of what's happening. I'm like 150, 200 pages into it, and I'm really, really loving it. Brandon Sanderson does world building like nobody's business. But because it's so early in what is supposed to be literally a 12-book series, each book being like 1,000 pages long, I'm not pretending like I know anything about what's going to be happening in this book. But I really want to finish this one by the end of July because the second one, Way of Kings and Words of Radiance. Words of Radiance was actually nominated for the BookTube SFF Awards, which I will link to down below if you haven't heard of. And I am going to plan on completing all of the read-alongs for those books, which means I need to be done with this one by August. So wish me luck with that. The book that I am like e-reading slash paper reading is American Gods by Neil Gaiman. I have the paper copy at home that I'm reading through slowly, but I'm also reading through the digital copy on my computer at work. I'm reading this in a buddy reading group with Lindsay and Connor and Caitlin, and so this is one of the few Neil Gaimans I've never read because I've heard such kind of mixed things about it. Lots and lots of people really don't like it. So far, I'm still on the fence. There's been some stuff in here that's really weird, and I will talk about that once I finish it, but there's also been some typical Neil Gaiman-y kind of stuff that I really, really adore, and so that is, like I said, I'm kind of still deciding how I feel about it, but talking to Connor and Lindsay is definitely helping me to kind of figure it out. And lastly, completely digitally, I lied to you guys the last time I did one of these update videos and told you I was going to start Red Shirts by John Scalzi. That literally did not happen because I forgot that the very next day Armada was coming out by Ernest Cline. So I am currently like flying through that. I just finished Ready Player One. I should actually have I refinished it. I'd read it before, but I finally listened to the audiobook for Ready Player One. I should have a review of that up in a couple of days. But Armada is his newest work that's also about like kind of video game culture and 80s pop culture references and nerd culture and all of these things that I love. I'm not liking it quite as much as Ready Player One because the video game parts of Ready Player One were never my favorite anyway, but I am really enjoying it on the whole, and that's another one that I'm also buddy reading this month. And so I'm really enjoying getting to talk to other Ernie Cline fans about what they think, especially kind of versus Ready Player One, which is a book everybody loved. So yeah, that is what I'm reading right now. Let me know what you're in the middle of reading. And as always, like, subscribe, and I will catch you on the flip side around the internet, folks. All right, bye.